another great night to be a Terp here in College Park as we bring you all yet another Terps Esports broadcast. My name is Ives, aka Ives Senior.
And my name is Kevin, and it is a great night indeed, Ives, for some Terps Academy League of Legends action tonight.
That's right, Kevin. It's the Academy in the studio tonight. We've got a lot to cover in our pre-show, including a quick review of how the game works, as well as an interview with our team's mid lane, Quasti.
But before we get into the action, let's go over the rules of your typical League of Legends tournament match. If you've never played the game before, League is a multiplayer online battle arena, also known as a MOBA. 5 players on each team battle it out on Summoner's Rift. There's monsters in the jungle and minions in the lane. Turrets to be destroyed. And to achieve victory, you have to destroy the opposing team's nexus.
For this league match, the Terps are competing in a best-of-3 regular season match against St. Joseph University, who are currently 2-0 this season. Coming into this match, our Terps are currently 0-2.
Yeah, and the storyline for today for our Terps Academy is that they're off to a rocky start this season with an 0-2 record compared to SJU. So we really got to see what kind of improvement they're bringing in tonight.
So now that you know who we're facing and what's at stake, it's time for us to introduce you to the players of the Terps Academy League of Legends team. In our top lane, we have Dr. Patient, who's not only is he a doctor without a PhD, but also a musician, playing alto saxophone for the Gamer Symphony Orchestra. You know, personally, I've seen a few of their shows, and I think, you know, I could hear that saxophone. It's really, it spoke to me. Yeah.
And in the jungle, we have a Moog, an avid chess player with a rating of 1600. Let's see if he will toy with the enemy jungle like they're a pawn.
And in our mid lane, we have Quasti. Substituting today, he has taken on the hobby of being an Osu beat mapper. So we know he can, you know, lay down some fire tracks, but let's see if he can beat them up on the Rift.
And in ADC, we have Soy Blake, our former caster, sitting on the opposite side of the studio tonight. With eloquence only acquired by being a caster, not only can Soy Blake demolish them with his gameplay, but with his words also.
And in support tonight, we have Kiko, a new face in the studio tonight, but only if you've only tuned into our League of Legends streams. She has been featured on our Valorant broadcast and formerly was a coach for the GC last semester. She put down her Vandal and replaced it with a World Atlas to take on the hard job of being the greatest of team players as she steps in for support tonight. And speaking of Quasti, here he is for a quick pre-match interview. Hello, how are you doing?
Hello.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm
That's
so excited for this match.
Awesome. How do you feel like coming in as a sub? Do you think that like kind of takes some of the pressure off of you, or like do you feel like you have to really perform as this is like your one time?
Yeah, honestly, I did have that feeling going in, like where I have to perform, you know, show them what I'm made of. But as as time moved on, I've gotten more used to the team and more. I'm just excited to play with our team.
Yeah, that's great. You know, Quasti, when I first heard that name, it sounded pretty unusual to me. Do you have like a particular story behind how you chose that name, or?
Back in my Minecraft days, I needed an IGN to go onto like Minecraft servers. So the full name was Castiello, but as I've grown more since then, I've shortened it to Casti. And since Casti was taken on Riot Games, I added the W to it. Make it.
Yeah, we'll have to contact, you know, one of the admins to get that restored. You know, get your rightful name. As an Osu mapper, like what kind of music do you really look for when you try to make those maps, and does it differ from like your own personal preference?
Yeah, my personal preference for making Osu maps, I really enjoy either like these anime songs or J-pop, J-rock. Those are my main maps, but I've also dabbled in some sort of like electronic or jazz as well actually recently. So it's wide range.
And are those like songs that you like to listen to? Or?
Yeah, I love to listen to.
Oh, that's awesome. Like, what's like your favorite like band?
My favorite band?
I guess in that genre.
A very good one. I like Aimer, yeah, if you know them.
Awesome. If you had to 1v1 one of your teammates, you know, ARAM style, like you just get a random champion, you just have to fight them in one lane. Who do you think you would have the best, you know, matchup against?
Best matchup? I would say maybe Kelly, but the one I'm most likely to play against, or most want to play against, would be Blake. I think he's a great teammate and a great player overall, so I look forward to 1v1ing him.
That's awesome. Thank you. And that concludes our pre-show for the League of Legends match. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Whether you're a new publisher or app developer, or if you've been around the block for a little while and you have your own ad ops team, Playwire is developing the solutions and products that are perfect for you.
RAMP stands for Revenue Amplification Management Platform. But really what it does, it helps you make more money per user, and it helps you simplify your business so you can just focus on what matters, which is making great content. So if you think about today's ecosystem, there's so many different pieces to run an ad tech platform.
RAMP brings the entire ad ecosystem under one umbrella. Everything from centralized ad unit creation to piping in those demand sources. We layer on a DMP, and we take care of your data privacy and consent management for you as well. We tie all of that together with robust analytics.
Playwire really offers our publishers two different models at this point. We've got the full service model where we come in and we cover everything. And there's now our new self-service model where you can come in and you can say, I just want Playwire to take care of some of these things for me. Another thing that we've had a lot of partners do with us in the past is say, hey, maybe I have a few of my own direct campaigns that I want to run. Or I've even got an ad ops team. I don't know whether Playwire is right for me because those people are doing a good job. We don't want to displace them in favor of Playwire. That's fine. We're happy to bring all the technology that we've put out there, but use it with your own team and with your own ad stack. What does that mean for you as a publisher? It means that you get to leverage all of the revenue maximization technology that we've got in place and still have all of the capabilities and all of the demand partners that you're used to working with. You can have your cake and you can eat it too.
We actually do things at such scale, right? We're serving 70 billion ads a month at this point. That's a huge benefit that we're passing on to the publisher.
Revenue intelligence marries human intelligence with machine intelligence. At its core, revenue intelligence is about taking all the demand that you're already getting and getting more out of it. We want to make it so that you're getting 10% more from your ad inventory without even worrying about who the advertisers are. It's based on us going in and understanding what are the places where we can put additional price pressure on. There's all sorts of situations like this where you can eke out little benefits and add them all up. You're quickly at a point where you are getting that 10, 15, 20% uplift on your revenue without having made any changes in who's actually doing the advertising.
Our DMP is built from the ground up to work in a cookieless environment and not use cookies to basically store, user behavior or anything like that. And it's built right into the RAMP platform.
We can tell advertisers information about user interests, but also user behavior, do it on a massive scale, do it in that real-time way that we also do with our revenue intelligence capabilities, and also do it in a way where we can leverage the size of our network. We're trying to do everything that we can to show you every step of the process of getting an ad onto the page. That means that we've got much richer charts and graphs, a lot more ability to look at a piece of information and drill down on it. Answer that question that maybe you didn't even know that you were asking. We're trying to make you think differently, actually, about your business, about how your business relates to advertising, and reveal all of that through the platform. So analytics are one big piece of it.
It's a constant evolution. We're constantly updating our technology. We're constantly creating the future.
It's a real challenge for publishers these days to navigate advertising technology. It seems like every 6 months there's some new challenge. And at Playwire, we make sure that we take all of that pain away from our publishers so they can focus on their core business of publishing.
Terp Adventures. Take flight at Stamp. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body. Feed your mind. Feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance. Sing, perform, find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. with space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete. Play. With wings on our feet. Here your spirit can fly. Here your soul lifts up. Here you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the Center for Campus Life, where Terp adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
And I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together. Everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural ray. We're excited just to see them play better as well.
With the middle school program, the best part has been seeing the moments of teamwork where the middle schoolers really seem to get the game. And so that's when you can see they're starting to get a little bit hooked on how esports can be so fun.
Off game, or will Red turn things around?
Terp Adventures take flight at Stamp. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body, feed your mind, feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance, sing, perform. Find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. With space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete. Play. With wings on our feet. Here your spirit can fly. Here your soul lifts up. Here you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the Center for Campus Life, where Terp adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. That was a short 10-minute break, 10-so-minute break.
Yeah, I'd say, it flew past in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, really was just, a momentary delay, as most people would say.
Yeah, just a bit. You know, we're just sorting out some team dynamics, some logistics of this match. You're trying to make it the best for everyone at home.
Yeah, I think maybe SJU got cold feet, perhaps, even though they're in the lead. They're technically the favorites in this matchup. I think the underdog story is building up for our Terps right now.
Well, I mean, they saw our two subs. They saw Kiko and Kwasi, and they went, "We've never seen these two people before. We have no idea what they're capable of." And I think they hit like full stop. They hit like the abort launch button. They said we have to like redo calculations essentially.
None of their game plans apparently work now.
Yeah, looking out on all those bright faces, would you even guess that one of them was playing Osu like until like 5 seconds ago, basically? Might even still be playing Osu right now.
Yeah, our Torps Academy team is as locked in as possible, playing every other game as possible.
Yeah, I used to play Osu to warm up for Valorant.
Yeah, Osu, I never got good at it, but it is definitely fun when you're clicking back and forth. And, the music keeps going. Like Osu Mapper in the mid lane, Casti, maybe that's what they're afraid of.
Yeah, because if you think about it, every game can be boiled down to point and click, which is the epitome of Osu.
Yeah. So going into this game, Ive, do you have any predictions, any strategic things that you're looking out for in this game?
What I'm looking out for, I think we have to look out for Kiko. I've been talking to her, and apparently she's going to be up to some maybe devious plays tonight. I have that to look forward to. I don't want to spoil anything, but I just know that if given the chance, she's going to give one of the greatest performances we've ever seen in the studio.
Yeah, let's see how the Valorant player does in the bot lane of the Summoner's Rift. It's basically the Valorant side of League of Legends if you think about it. Everybody down there has a ranged weapon, but she's in the support role, so perhaps not weaponized like she is usually in Valorant.
Yeah, I think ADC might be the most comparable because you can play Caitlyn there, and she has her passive, which is a headshot, which is, you can't really get those anywhere else in League of Legends. But you can get those all the time in Valorant. I think, it's great. I'm not sure how those skills transfer over. I'm sure it's not one-to-one, but I know it's just like that competitive environment that, being able to acclimate to that and having that experience, you're not coming in here with those nerves. I think it's going to be a real boon to her tonight.
Yeah, I'm wondering what Terps will do upon their team composition, really. Like last week last week when we saw Academy, we saw a Rammus first pick coming out. So it's not a typical first pick because it's very easily counterable. If you know the Rammus is coming out in the jungle, you just pick all AP. So I'm just wondering how this draft is going to go differently. How is coach going to adjust this draft to maybe play around some of his better players?
Yeah, well, I think that was definitely a big gamble, in our previous Academy match in the studio. And I think you just kind of have to go back to basics, essentially. Like, you can't be putting yourself out there, putting all your cards on the table, basically first pick like that. You're going to have to, just reassess. And I think they've been doing a lot of practicing different team compositions, trying to see who's comfortable where, who's going to step in to get this unusual character pick when it matters the most, and just trying to flesh out that kind of character pool that everyone has.
Yeah, and I'm getting word that we're gonna start drafts soon. Definitely right now is league season, so hopefully the Terps can turn it around, maybe get a 1-2 record for the season, because Worlds is starting soon. We have the LCK, the LPL, the LTA now, and everybody is gonna be gathering in Beijing, China to start off the Swiss stage for League of Legends. So it's definitely an exciting time of year for League. So hopefully we can see our Terps team turn it around for their season.
Yeah, and go to Beijing. No, I'm just kidding. Uh, we don't play in that specific qualifier because Riot Games said that we're too good, actually. So
too good for
they said
T1.
They said, yeah, Faker got intimidated by you. He has a lot of pull in, the industry, in the community. And he said, like, Terps Esports, they have to go. So we're going to have to let you go. And we said, that's kind of messed up. Yeah. Like, if you ever meet Faker out in the wild, tell him Terps Esports sent you, and he might have a heart attack. But
yeah, I don't know Korean, but I'll try and say it in broken English. So
he knows that. He knows that phrase specifically in English because he fears it so much.
I see. A former 5-time world champion is going to be afraid of Terps Academy, specifically Academy.
Like, I think if he saw me, he would be afraid of me too because he knows what I can do on Yumi.
All right, heading into the draft right now, we have a Syndra ban coming out from Terps, Pantheon ban from SJU with the hovering Aurora. We're still on patch 2419, so none of the major game-changing buffs and nerfs have come out. So Kiana ban coming out from Terps. We've seen that recently in the jungle. It's a very dominant, strong assassin, heavy ganking jungle. And Talia ban coming out from SJU.
Yeah, as you were saying with that patch, I think, like, was it a Pantheon jungle buff specifically that was in those patch notes?
In the upcoming Worlds patch, I think .20, a lot of the strong characters, Pantheon, Orianna, Azir, all of those characters are getting nerfed. Annie getting nerfed. So there's usually going to be a prio around Jarvan 4 and Rumble and some other characters. But right now we're still on the current normal patch. So we see the same meta read. Like we have a Xin Zhao first pick coming out from SJU. Perhaps they're trying to just get the jungler pick out of the way so they can strong side their bot lane or mid lane. So we'll see how Terps want to react to this. Are they gonna 1-2 jungle top, maybe pick their bot lane first and weak side them?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're seeing this Volibear come out. It could be a similar. We might see that in the jungle. So we might just go jungle for jungle here. On the side of Terps, we're seeing a Varus come out. Could be bot lane. I know that Blake, our AD carry, loves to play him. So I think it's one of his favorite characters. I think one of his best characters. In that interview we had in his last time in the studio, he said that was one of his favorite characters he liked to play. So we didn't get to see him play it then. It's great to see him play it this time, and we're seeing that Orianna pick come out. I think that's probably going to be their mid laner.
Yeah, most likely mid laner. It's very unusual for Orianna to go elsewhere. Right now we're looking at this matchup. Varus definitely a strong scaler, and if it's a comfortable champ for Soy Blake, then it's definitely going to be powerful in his hands. Xin Zhao, Orianna on the side of SJU and Mbessa coming out. They're looking for a more mobile engage comp with that Orianna ult and Mbessa execution just going in with the shockwave. It's a deadly combo. Once you're in, you're instantly in there, and you get crowd controlled instantly by Orianna. So we'll want to see what Terps want to do. Right now they have Volibear, so maybe they're going to draft another tank to do a front to back composition with tanks in the front and damage dealers in the back.
Yeah, we're seeing that Poppy come out. Is that our AD? No, not our AD carry. Who's that for our Terps here?
So Poppy could go realistically all 3 slots from top, jungle to support, but I believe this Poppy is going to be going in the top lane because it's usually a good matchup into Mbessa, and we see a Sivir ban coming out from the side of Terps.
Zoe ban come out. I personally hate playing against Zoe. Her sleep that really gets that magic resistance reduction is just such a terror to deal with. I'm not sure who on Terps is a Zoe menace, or maybe that's just a comfort ban for SJU.
Yeah, from the side of Terps, we see a severe Smolder ban. They definitely want to decentivize their ADC on the side of SJU from picking strong scalers that can, shred through those tanks. Sivir, very good at piecing through the front to back composition with her W. Smolder, just a strong late game champion with that execute and burn. A Zeri ban coming out from SJU, that is a more that's a more questionable ban because they already picked Varus. So did they just waste a ban there? A Victor pick coming out from Terps. So it seems like Terps are more in control with their identity in this draft phase right now.
Yeah, I think it's possible that, SJU thought that the Varus pick was possibly a mid laner, but I don't know, because then you have that Zoe ban come out, and that's also like typically a ban on like a mid laner. And we're seeing this Ashe pick come out, and possibly this last pick for SJU is going to be a support. I think. What do you think? Like, is probably the best combo they could go here?
I think a really strong combo is Ashe Braum. You get that really strong bot lane, or Ashe Milio. It seems they're coming out. Ashe has that natural slow built into her kit to be able to pressure and dominate lanes. Varus has that nice push pull. He's able to push into the enemies if he's stronger in the lane. He's able to pull and farm under tower. With that Karma support, most likely he's going to try and fight back in this lane against this Ashe Milio. This Milio pick is a bit odd because I don't think it fits as well into this composition. But we'll see if SJU prove me wrong. Normally, you would look for a stronger engaged champion with Ashe to be able to keep that strong pressure that she naturally has from her slowing W, from her strong stun ultimate, and her natural slowing auto attacks.
Yeah, Ashe isn't, there to deal a bunch of burst damage. You kind of need that sustain, like tanking or defensive capabilities that I don't think Milio is capable of providing. It'll be kind of difficult to navigate this bot lane for SJU, I think, especially against that Varus with those skill shots that'll just penetrate through minions. You can't really take a trade there. It'll be definitely a challenge for SJU, but if picking that Milio, I guess they feel they're up to it.
Yeah, on the side of SJU, it's looking like it's more split up. Are they going to stun with Ashe Arrow and then try and execute in with Mbessa, Xin and Orianna ult? So let's see what what SJU's plan is, because clearly on Terps it's a front to back. So we're about to head into the Summoner's Rift right now.
Yeah, I think what I really like to see is that Karma. I really enjoy seeing she's really just strong. It's just like always, because she gets her R off of spawn because it's just, like an upgraded ability ultimate. And I think it's a great always pick to have.
Yeah, in my opinion, I love playing Karma as a support. When you hop into that support in solo queue or just draft, it's like you can do anything. You have that healing shield, healing root. You have that shield. As you said, you have ultimate off of start, so your Q, the bombarding spell, is just very strong. It's like you're playing Lux with a combination of Lulu and any enchanter you can think of. It's a very versatile pick, but it's definitely a pick that you want to utilize in the early laning phase to get pressure.
Yeah, definitely. I think with that shield and root and that area denial with her Q is definitely just really a walk them down kind of thing when your opponents are weak, when they don't really have anything to counter that at this point. And I think definitely it's going to come in handy in those team fights where you're going to see Mbessa try and, flash into the back line with her public execution. And you're going to, see that, sustain come out from Karma. It's, not like every, enchanter champion where they just like die in a few hits. You can really hold your own at least for a bit until your team comes in to help you.
Yeah, we definitely have to look out for how Terps is going to play, because the recent stories in these past games is that they've been losing control of that jungle, that objective timing. They've been losing lanes mainly, whether it be draft or just they're not playing to the level they usually expect themselves to play. So really the storyline, even though they're the underdog, we're expecting them to perform at this high level. We're expecting them to get all these objectives unlike last time. We need to see that like either lane swap or heavy contest on grubs. Let's see who is going to fight for first Drake, and those objective controls like Otacon at 20 minutes, it can really swing the direction and the momentum of the game.
Yeah, definitely, and I think it'll be interesting to see like Volibear gets a lot of utility out of his ultimate, his level 6, which will stun towers. But I think if you don't go in for any assist when it's so readily available to you in the laning phase before that, I think it's a detriment to your team. I think usually the safe play is to play, in your jungle and just full clear until you're level 6. But I think Terps Academy kind of needs to deviate from like that kind
proactive.
Yeah, essentially like they've got some kind of like ranked mentality, essentially, as I want to say it.
Yeah, I would rather see them run it down with confidence than play safe and then slowly bleed out. As you were saying, that Stormbringer from Volibear, I really want to see more gank heavy pressure, disabling those towers, maybe a 3-man gank where they lane swap for grubs, and then the ADC and support are in the top lane, and they're able to dive that Mbessa. I want to see like more proactivity, more map movement, not them slowly bleeding out in their lanes, because it seems like last time they were getting more proactive, right? But they were still letting themselves bleed out once the game slowed down.
Yeah, definitely. I think, especially in that first match, it was definitely a very slow defeat. When the Terps started getting maybe a bit more proactive with that Rammus pick, I think they just were getting countered. They were a bit disorganized, shaken up after that first match, and it was, a bit difficult to come back from that situation.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they've improved on their coordination. Academy, sometimes it's the first time these players are playing pro play. So we want to see this improvement. Even though they have substitutes, we want to see them be able to communicate from this core of Dr. Patient, Amog, and Soy Blake, these like usual quintessential players, how they're going to step up to the plate and maybe guide their substitutes, Casti and Kiko.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'll be very easy to, assist Kiko in that substitute role, as she's in that support role for the first 14 minutes you're, with someone in that lane. So it's definitely like you have someone that you essentially have with you that will help you. I think for that mid lane, it's a bit different, maybe a bit difficult. It's a very important role. You're at the center of the map. You have a lot of control there by, winning that lane. It's, maybe we'll see a favor towards mid for jungle there, but we'll just have to see.
Yeah, my prediction is there is not going to be a lot of action in the mid lane. Orianna and Victor both are more scaling, farm heavy mage champions. So I think they're just going to duke it out for their CS, for their minions, and there's probably not going to be a lot of action until those team fights. They're going to see major impact with their utility, that Orianna ult coming out, the Victor Cage, and ultimate. I think mid lane will be more quiet. I want to see how this Poppy and Bessa matchup works. I said Poppy should win this matchup into Mbessa. However, it's still based on skill. Like, if this Mbessa is good enough, Poppy won't do anything to her. But Poppy usually is very tanky and very surprisingly strong damage-wise.
Yeah, I think surprisingly resilient. Poppy, very small stature. Like, I don't think you expect that based on like a character model, but in League anything is possible.
Yeah, that Poppy I'm looking forward to seeing. I feel like Poppy is probably one of the most overpowered champions currently in the game. And you might be, why? Why the small Yordle? Well, her ultimate charges it up, you hit the enemy jungler, and you get a free objective, basically. And that W is very strong at stopping dashes.
Yeah, awesome. And I think as we're hearing, we're into the Summoner's Rift. Just, looking to see a great game. Let's see how, SJU and Terps will spread out before minions will spawn. They're watching for invades. You're seeing this 5-man spread on both sides. Just here to watch, if the enemy team is going to invade.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to do in this early game. They're just maybe scouting out each other. But it seems like top lane, I mean, the junglers are both starting top side, maybe pathing towards bot to get early advantage. Maybe they're going to root for a level 2, level 3 gank on the top lane. We'll have to see how the lane pressure, pulls and pushes.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing Volibear W come out there, strangely. It's just playing this kind of like back and forth of testing SJU and the Terps to see who's going to try and take an engage, but we're going to see SJU back off. I think they wanted to look for something, but, the timing wasn't right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to some action in this bot lane. It's definitely going to be more fight heavy, hopefully, for the Terps with this Karma pick coming out.
Definitely.
Top lane, right now we can't tell anything too early, but hopefully we see this Astronaut Poppy, be able to make plays out of this world.
Yeah, definitely. And we're just seeing some skill shots being thrown out. I think really that Varus, like, kind of, is that his W where it creates that field, that rain of arrows, essentially? I think it's definitely something to look out for, something unexpected, I feel like.
Yeah, as predicted, this Varus bot lane is getting early pressure on Ashe and Milio, but as you saw on the minimap, Xin Zhao started Raptors 2 Krugs, and now he's starting his red buff. Is he going to go for a level 3 gank on bot? We don't know. But Tribush is warded on the side of Terps. On the opposite end, Volibear on the side of Terps started from Krug and is going downwards towards bot lane. Is he going to look for an early dive on Terps? We gotta see this cross map, how Terps and SJU are going to, fight against each other on this cross map. Hopefully Poppy plays more safe as Xin Zhao goes back up, but she seems to be dominating that lane right now.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's something you love to see. I think that it's the relationship that these junglers are going to have with their lanes is, basically...
And we see a solo kill coming out from Poppy right under tower before any junglers can get involved.
Yeah, it's just like before that full clear comes out, before, where you usually want to take that engage, like, Dr. Payson just said, I'll take matters into my own hands. Maybe he sensed something coming. Maybe Terps had some information, and they just, showed such a dominant top lane performance that you could get that first blood.
Yeah, I mean, he has patience in the name, but he definitely played with pace. It's going to be a TP advantage on the side of Terps with Poppy keeping her TP with Mbessa burning it early. We see a small skirmish towards the top river. Nothing going to happen actually right now. We'll see how Terps want to push away with their early control. As I said, are they going to look for a lane swap or perhaps just control over first Drake?
Yeah, we're just seeing a quick trade come out. That leash coming out from Karma, unable to keep it for the full duration to get that root. I think it would have been great to get some early trade in. We're seeing, that top lane fight again.
Yeah, I mean, this mid lane fight, while quiet, they are low HP. They're trying to farm up, but they're still focusing on pressuring each other with abilities. I mean, right now I'm looking towards that Xin Zhao going into mid lane, and then flash coming out from Victor, flash coming out from Xin Zhao, and it's a kill for Xin Zhao. We have a Volibear coming up into the top lane, ganking Mbessa.
We're seeing that stun come out from Volibear. You know, Poppy's going to be low.
It barely survives, and kill goes towards the side of Terps on Volibear. It's a 1-for-1 trade. TP coming out from both sides in the mid lane. I mean, I think Victor overplayed his hand a little, stepping up a little too eagerly in the mid lane, and Xin Zhao just caught him. And the same story in the top lane for Mbessa. It seems like both sides are trying to adjust to each other's like playstyles. They're trying to see what pressure they can get early on for these objectives.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, you know, it was a great performance out of Dr. Patient. He was low there in, you know, the top lane and just kind of let Amog just kind of take that frontline position to finish off that Mbessa.
Yeah, this Poppy, as I said, maybe a little overtuned, but I want to see what Poppy will do once she gets to level 6 and once those objective fights come around. We see a Moog Volibear hanging around the bot side. Is he perhaps... He's not level 6 yet, so maybe he's not going for that dive. But will he start Dragon and call over his bot lane? Because there's no pressure from the enemy bot lane right now. They have push.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Terps they've still had that vision in, you know, SJU's Tribush in the bot lane here. So I think they feel confident enough to just take that dragon. Even with Xin Zhao, you know, pathing bot, it looks like they're just going to give it up.
Yeah, a bird comes out from Ashe, but with Victor having push mid lane and push bot lane on the side of Terps, it's just an easy and free Inferno drag for Terps. Right now, it looks like dominant laning in all 3 lanes for Terps. We got to see how SJU is going to turn it around, what their game plan is. We got to see the Xin Zhao get more active perhaps in his side lanes, trying going for ganks perhaps in top lane, catch that Poppy out and even it up.
Yeah, we're seeing, you know, some trades come out. That Ashe gets rooted and you're just going to...
comes out from Ashe, or was that... that was a shield from Milio. W comes out. Heal burned on the side of Terps. Seems like Terps are losing a little bit of control, but I think it's just a momentary thing. Once they regain control, they're gonna hopefully push for, you know, maybe a swap to mid, swap to top, catch those grubs soon coming up.
Yeah, you know, I feel like you would have expected after you got that root on the Ashe, the Terps to just kind of win that trade there, but unfortunately that's not what happened. You saw that summoner spell heal get burned.
Yeah, right now in the top river, we see movement coming out from Mbessa, Xin Zhao, and Orianna. They're keeping control and pressure on that grubs. We see a ping coming in from Volibear on the side of Terps, trying to take these grubs back. Victor dying to Orianna. Stormbringer comes out from Volibear. Mbessa goes in, gets a kill on Volibear. It's a 1 versus 3 for Dr. Patient on this Poppy, and nothing comes to fruition. It's a free 3-for-0 trade on Grubs engage. It was a very messy fight on the side of Terps. They just collapsed once Victor got caught out really early. He was on half HP. He was caught out by Xin Zhao. Crescent Guard came out, and he was just instantly dead. And then Volibear followed suit, and Dr. Patient was just the remnants of that fight. So it's just a free 3 grubbies for SJU.
Yeah, they just came in 1 by 1, and, you know, SJU was just all 3 there. We're seeing that Ashe get low health there in lane. Might try and back here.
Yeah, right now it was swaying towards the side of Terps, but those 3 kills have netted SJU with a 1,000 gold lead. So we gotta see how Terps bot lane is going to affect this game now. because they're the only ones in lane that are ahead in CS. This Poppy is not too far away, but mid lane has definitely fallen behind with 2 deaths, and Orianna with 1 item, that Blackfire Torch already.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing this engage come out. I think Dr. Patient just wants to take that. I think he's winning that trade there. You think Mbessa's died twice in lane. You think that, you know, he'd have that advantage over CS. You know, have that extra time to farm when he's not walking back to lane. But, you know, unfortunately, we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, Mbessa up a level right now, or for just a moment. So I was expecting her to win, but right now it seems like lanes are still staying the same even after that major loss in the top river. It seems like Volibear is getting caught out in enemy jungle. He has to burn Flash. Flash coming out from Xin Zhao. Will he chase? He's chasing kill on Volibear. They're gonna collapse on Kiko. Karma. She's half HP. W comes out from Ashe. They're continuing to chase. Double kill for Xin Zhao. Victor caught out right now. And another kill on the side of SJU for Orianna. Orianna is 3-0 right now, Oz.
Yeah, I think, you know, as we saw in that Grubs fight, it's just one after another. You know, the Terps are coming in unevenly. They're not organized when they decide to take that fight. I think, you know, Volibear was in the enemy's jungle and was trying to get out. It's not a very winnable position, especially if you have no one around you to help. The best option would have just been to cut your losses and just let them die there as you continue to farm in lane. I think Soyblake understood that, and which is why he didn't go in for that engage there. But I think Kiko just wanted to assist as that support player, and unfortunately just, you know, it was doomed to the same fate.
Yeah, right now we're seeing a strong gold advantage coming out on the side of SJU. Sunder Sky already for Xin Zhao. We have that Blackfire Torch for Orianna, and Eclipse on the top side for Mbessa. They definitely have a item lead right now. It's looking quite pretty for SJU. I wonder how Terps are going to engage on the second Drake. Seems to be a Cloud Drake coming out. Are they going to try and give it up, trying to keep lane pressure and just farm? Because Xin Zhao and his bot lane's going active right now on Karma, caught out, knockup coming out from Xin Zhao. He's going to keep the pressure on and kill for Ashe on Karma.
Yeah, we're seeing that heal being used, but like, my question is, why didn't that flash come out as well? I think you just flash over the wall there to get away and into your teammates.
Yeah, Xin Zhao just keeping that pressure. He's keep pushing forward into this bot lane now. The Volibear getting extremely low. The Crescent Guard comes out, Stormbringer comes out, but Xin Zhao still gets that kill on Volibear, but shut down for Soyblake on Varus. I mean, it seems like SJU are running it down, and it's still working out for them because Terps just seem to have no control, and Orianna just solo ults Victor under tower, getting a solo kill in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think it's that it's very difficult to see. SJU just understands that they have this advantage early and are just, you know, grouped up, just trying to take fights. Like, I don't think they've gone into a fight where it's been, you know, even numbers off the start. Like, no one's on the side of Terps is coming into this fight like for a 3-on-3. They're just like, like 3 players might have gone into that engage, but it's basically a 3v1 and then another 3v1 and then another one. And with such an advantage early, and then you're already, you know, taking an uneven fight, I think there's just no way that the Terps can win that. They just have to regroup and reassess. And we're seeing this Karma kind of try and get some information, see what's going on, see if they can, you know, contest this objective. But I think nothing's going to happen because no one on the side of Terps is there as well. And they're already down so much. Like, they just have to farm. They have to play smart. They can't just engage in a team fight like that.
Yeah, I think that Karma was just poking and prodding, trying to pressure SJU to like take longer on that Cloud Drake, but it was basically handed to them after that lost team fight in bot. As you said, these fights have been very split from the side of Terps. They've been engaging 3-on-3, right? But they've been funneling in, they've been going in one by one, so they're always caught out. Karma caught out, Victor caught out in that top river fight. So it's just looking like a disorganized mess right now. They have to look for more solo pit play. Maybe Dr. Patient seems to be trying to force Mbessa's hand right now in the solo fight, and it seems like to be winning with a Keeper's Verdict coming out. Public execution comes out from Mbessa though. Kill over to Mbessa.
Yeah, I think that's unfortunate to see. We're seeing another team fight in the Terps jungle right now.
Stormgren comes out from Volibear. Ash Arrow comes out. Flash from Volibear and Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao kills Volibear. I mean, it's just complete domination on the side of SJU. They're so deep into the jungle of Terps. It's really amazing how much like they're getting away with right now. It's like they're acting like the whole jungle is theirs right now. Like it seems like Terps can't do anything. They're gonna lose mid tier 1. This Xin Zhao is running this map, and all of his lanes are now in the advantage.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just, you know, you've already starved the Terps of like winning lanes, and now you're starving them of jungle resources. You're starving them of vision, of objectives. It's SJU is trying their best to, you know, reduce the avenues with which the Terps can use to get back into this game, and they're doing it like pretty well.
Yeah, definitely the methodical gameplay you would see from a team that's won 2 games so far in the season, and from what we can see, the mid lane of SJU and Terps have gone into bot lane with both TPs up. We have a solo kill coming out from Orianna once again on Victor. I mean, with that TP advantage, it's looking like another free objective on the side of SJU. I mean, it's 20-second death timer on Victor. They can't really do anything. They just... I mean, Ive, what would you say if you could say anything to them right now?
I mean, I don't even know. I think it's so hard. You know, Victor wasn't even under tower when that fight happened, and you just let Orianna get that damage on you for free. It's just, you just have to move an inch and you're under your tower, and you can take that fight with maybe a little bit more on your side. Like, you just have to, like, stay under tower there. You just have to farm under tower now because you don't have the vision in your own jungle even. Like, we're seeing like Xin Zhao dive this tower on Poppy. You're seeing the stun come out and is just trying to walk away while they take this tower. But it's a 3-on-1 and Poppy is just going to get knocked up, just stunned, CC'd, trying their best to get back to this tier 2 tower, and they're going to get away.
Miraculously, Poppy escapes with Keeper's Verdict coming out. I mean, it was a messy dive from SJU, but I totally thought Poppy was going to die right there, but they did still manage to get top tier 1. I mean, right now they can't keep control of Silence. Victor cannot 1v1 Mbessa or Orianna, who's 5-0 right now, which is crazy. I mean, this Victor doesn't have his Rod of Ages finish. He's trying to build up towards a Leandries, it seems like. I mean, right now, Terps, they need to play together as a team and look for a miraculous opening. But it seems from the team comp, they don't have that strong crowd control like Ash Arrow or Orianna Shockwave. It's going to be a difficult turnaround for them. It seems like I said, they're bleeding out again. They're trying to stabilize themselves in this like no objective turn, but every time objectives comes around, somebody gets caught somehow.
Yeah, definitely. I think it just is about that, you know, your positioning. Like, they want to go for that objective, but someone is, you know, a bit too overzealous. We're seeing this fight on the tower come out. You know, trying to send that Rift Herald into the tier 3 tower at this point.
Shockwave coming out from Orianna. Karma caught out already. Victor now caught out from Xin Zhao. Flash coming out from Xin Zhao. Victor 1 HP. Public execution miss from Mbessa. Redemption coming out. A flash from Mbessa, and it's just a triple kill on the side of SJU. Volibear trying to make something happen, but he just can't manage any damage. And in the top lane, Poppy is just getting ran down from Ashe. She can't touch her at all, and it's just slow, painful damage. But Poppy with that Keeper's Verdict can escape. Well, it's just looking very dire for Terps. I mean, I thought they were having a very good start to this game, getting that early first blood, getting that early first Drake, but now the Xin Zhao running down on Volibear, Ultimate's coming out, and it's just a free kill. It's going to be a free Drake probably coming out on the side of SJU, unless maybe they make some miracles happen in this jungle right now.
Yeah, definitely. I think SJU wanted that kill, but they got they overextended. You know, there's 4 people on Terps here. That Xin Zhao is low. He's gonna have to back up if he wants to live here.
Yeah, we see a flash coming out from Poppy onto Orianna. Nothing caught. Karma caught again by Orianna and Xin Zhao, and Poppy just dies in the middle of that team fight. Varus Soyblade just has no position to get into that fight and dies under tower. I mean, it was looking good with a shutdown for Soyblade from Mbessa, but it's like they kept overplaying their hand. They lingered around in the jungle, not positioning together, and Karma got caught out, forcing another split fight.
Yeah, definitely. I think like really a common denominator of all these, you know, like kind of messed up, you know, takes on objective and team fights is just Kiko getting caught out way too early. Like, you're overextending, you're in the front line when no one else on your team is there. Like, and we're just seeing Orianna just take a 2-on-1 and just live that.
Gets a double kill on the 2-on-1 like you said, and I mean, Mbessa teleports in, public execution comes out. She's just trying to make miracles work, but it's a 3-on-1 fight. Varus ult coming out, and it's a kill for Dr. Patient. However, they're going to trade it for a Otacon on the side of SJU. They have a strong 10k gold lead right now. I mean, it's better than nothing in the top lane, but it's like you're taking small victories. Wow, SJU's macro is taking these large objectives. Otacon, Herald, Drake, they're just going for free. It's a like buy one get one free sale on the side of SJU. Like nothing is really sparking for Terps. I mean, Orianna's so strong that she's able to keep a bounty even after getting killed, and it seems like Poppy just goes down easily to Orianna, going to a 11-1 scoreline.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's too little, too late for that, you know, that little small top lane win that the Terps had, because it's just like you're getting starved out everywhere else. Like, that 10k gold lead has just been brought down to, like, you know, 8k, but it's still, like, not enough. We're seeing, you know, Emilio, a support player, is just confidently attacking this Volibear in Terps' own jungle. I think it just is a testament to how SJU is feeling right now in this match.
Yeah, and they're just trying to, you know, force pressure on this Orianna to stay out of this top lane. But Rod of Ages just kicked in on the side of Terps Victor, and that level lead is still 2 up for Orianna. I mean, if you look anywhere in these lanes, 1 level up for Xin Zhao and Mbessa, 1 level up on the side of Ashe. It's only the supports that are the same level. I mean, it's just it's just a laning diff, and like and Volibear seems to be caught out right now. Stormbringer comes out, he's trying to escape. I mean, if you just keep looking at this jungle and vision control, Terps have nothing. I mean, Volibear's trying to fight, but this Xin Zhao is more tanky than him now. Ultimate's coming out. Dr. Patient in the middle of that fight. Keeper's Verdict coming out. Dying. Double kill for Ashe. Mbessa public execution goes in. Karma down to Orianna. I mean, it's just an ace for SJU, and it's a... I mean, minions aren't pushed up in the mid-wave, but I think it's just an easy end for SJU. A 28-7 scoreline for the first game is definitely not pretty, Ive.
Yeah, I mean, it's an unfortunate showing. I think it's, you know, not what we expected out of our Terps. But, I mean, it's only the first map. There's always another one. Time to reassess. You know, try and see what, like, you can do. Like, as you said, that first, you know, few minutes where you had that advantage in the top lane, I think was great. You know, it's, you know, you had what looked to be a promising match for the Terps there, but unfortunately they couldn't realize that for the rest of the game. I think especially with that mid lane, just trying to, they didn't really get a lot of action from the jungler, and they still like managed to get that advantage over the Terps.
Yeah, I mean, that early game was good for the side of Terps, but they just crumbled in those team fights, those like repositioning for like, especially Grubs. It was the first instance where they just fell apart, where Victor got caught out.
Yeah, definitely. And I think looking here, they're just trying to reassess, like, you know, talk to their coach, see what they can do better, and, you know, like maybe some draft tips to see what, you know, those champions are burned after this map. Who's going to come out now? Like, who do they think SJU is going to try and pull out? And who are they going to play to counter that?
Yeah, it's a fearless draft game. So we'll see all of those previous champions banned, or not banned, but just unable to be picked. So we got to see Terps coming out with something different. Their champ pool might be more limited, but with what they have, they need to be able to work up something creative to let's say Soy Blake or Dr. Patient really cook, because those were the prominent players that were actually doing something that game. Poppy getting an early solo kill on Mbessa, and you know, Varus was getting all those shutdowns in that game. So I really want to see some action from those players. I want them to be able to be in that position where they're able to carry that game. I know it's a lot of weight, but right now there seems to be no team play that you can rely on. You really have to win and snowball that game, or else it's like FDR in like the 1930s and 40s. It's a landslide for SJU. SJU is FDR right now. It's an electoral landslide. It's just Terps need to like pull out a generational performance like Obama.
Like an Obama. I think it's so interesting that you chose, you know, that, you know, electoral college metaphor. I think I'm not going to tell you it doesn't work. It does work. Like the way in which you said it, you know, just bestowed that image into my mind. I think it's very funny to equate, you know, League of Legends to that.
Our great presidents.
Yeah, to our great presidents, you know, I think I just can't get over that. I actually can't get over that, and I think we're going to need a bit of time to process that as we head into this this break before our next match.
Yeah, hopefully our Terps will regroup, and we'll see what they're going to do into SJU's in the second match.
Terp Adventures take flight at STAM. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body, feed your mind, feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance, sing, perform, find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. With space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete. Play. With wings on our feet. Here your spirit can fly. Here your soul lifts up. Here you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the center for campus life, where Terp adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
And I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together, everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural ray. We're excited just to see them play better as well.
With the middle school program, the best part has been seeing the moments of teamwork where the middle schoolers really seem to get the game, and so that's when you can see they're starting to get a little bit hooked on how esports can be so fun.
Off game, or will Red turn things around?
Your ad tech stack is simple, streamlined, and easy to manage, right? Yeah, right. If you're an ad tech, then you know you have a problem. Ad tech is messy, and your tech stack includes way too many tools to effectively manage. At Playwire, we're here to uncomplicate your ad tech stack. We've consolidated the entire publisher ad tech stack into a single platform and added in proprietary technology and advanced tools to generate you even higher CPMs. Get access to an ad tech stack that is simpler and smarter.
Greg, also known as Sind, and I'm an initiator player for the Valorant Premier Team.
I'm Kazu, and I go by NJV, and I'm the coach for the team.
I'm Richard, and I go by Pickle Richard, and I'm the duelist player.
Pretty fun. I definitely liked all the guys I was playing with. It's fun to get in the server with them. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a challenge balancing it with other things, but
yeah,
it's definitely something that I enjoy doing a lot.
Yeah, making like all the friends that we made through this team, so it really makes me happy. So it's like really awesome that we did this.
Yeah, I think I had really fun times on this team. I played well every single game.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I think my favorite moment was map 5. I think that was a really fun match.
The grand finals.
Yeah,
yeah,
that was
the grand
fun.
final. Yeah.
Remember what map it was?
I don't remember that.
Oh, it was Sunset. Yeah,
Sunset.
Yeah.
And you played Raze.
Yeah, I played Raze.
Yeah, no, that map was really intense. Like, it was super, super hard. The pressure was definitely on. Like, it was super late at night. It was like midnight or
It
something.
was very late. It was
1 a.m. or like
my favorite one was probably the first match of the season.
Oh yeah.
First time in the studio together.
Oh, in the studio.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. It
That
was
was
like
fun.
fun seeing all the Academy boys in the studio. So that was sick. Yeah.
My personal goal is I think I'm gonna try to hit Radiant this season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can. I think it's definitely to win Big Ten right now, and then place top 8 in CVAL. That's our goal.
Top 8 CVAL.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big Ten is definitely the thing I'm most interested in seeing.
Mhm.
I'm not flying out, but hopefully, or the boys do well over
Hopefully
it.
we win.
Where is it?
I-
OSU? Ohio State?
Yeah, in Ohio.
Ohio.
I promise at least second place.
At least second place? I think we can win it.
I think we can win it too.
I think we can.
We gotta
win
be
Big Ten.
humble.
Everyone, we just we can't get complacent.
Can't get complacent. Never that.
That's a good one.
Go ahead.
Honestly, like unironically, I think Kazu is a very fun person to have in the program as like an emotional leader. Even though he doesn't always, sometimes things can get a little disorganized with Kazu at the helm.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
For as much flack as we give him for being terrible at the game, he's actually
Yeah, if you watch our
He's
games
actually a very
while I play, you'll be surprised. Like, I hear House is guy my coach a lot.
Yeah.
Like, a weird amount of times.
But I think Kazu's a great addition for him. I love him.
Yeah, I love
He's
how
great.
You love Valorant.
He's very wholesome.
He is very awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
He's radiant. Remember that.
I'm ready to remember that.
Yeah, his timeouts have improved a lot too. As someone who's seen him coach over the last like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Your old timeouts were.
Yeah, that was when I was
great.
a little baby boy coach.
Yeah, but now he's improved a lot.
Yeah.
I really like having him as coach.
Thank you, Gregory. Wow, this is great. You should do this more often.
That's the most praise you've ever heard.
He got an ego boost for free today.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Welcome back, Ive. Are you ready for the second match?
Yeah, definitely. I'm ready to see what we'll have in store. I think talking about who's gonna play what champions, I think in what we're seeing coming out in the bans right now is fairly similar. We're seeing that Pantheon ban, on the side of SJU again. I think it's pretty similar. We're seeing a Silas come out for Terps, which is new.
Yeah, right now we're seeing the same Syndra Kiana, but now a Silas ban coming out on the side of Terps, like you said, Ives. That Pantheon is still really strong in the jungle, definitely a priority pick. And a Talia or Aurora ban, I can't speak apparently, coming out on the side of SJU. That Aurora can be a top lane threat against a potential Rumble Wukong 1-2. Talia is a nice pick into Azir if Terps plays that Azir. But right now, first pick, I would like to see them just blinding a strong jungler like Jarvan 4 coming out right now. Jarvan 4 definitely a strong pick to combo with Rumble perhaps, but let's see if SJU wants to take like that Rumble away. Right now they're hovering Nidalee, so maybe they're trying to move towards like a AP jungler team composition like we saw like last year. AP junglers Lilia, Bran, and Nidalee of course is in meta, so we see a Nidalee Nautilus coming out. Unusual early support pick coming out.
Yeah, definitely. I think Nautilus is kind of a pain to play against just because he's such a tanky engage. A lot of his crowd control is just like you hit a button and it happens. You don't have to really skill shot. Like the only skill shot he has is that hook. But other than that, he has a slow, he has a knock up, just a lot of CC, and we're seeing that Rakan come out. I assume it's just going to be their support pick, and a Zaya.
Yeah, Zaya Rakan 1-2, it's definitely a good pair, but I don't know if that's the safest choice to blind pick into perhaps, this Nautilus going for a Caitlyn, very strong and dominant laning, being able to, abuse that like longest range in the game. So Zaya and Rakan, are they going to move up with this Nautilus zoning them and Caitlyn being able to deal so much damage from range? I don't quite know like what the thought process of blinding Zaya Rakan is here. Are they going to try and pick a carry like laner for Dr. Patient or the mid lane of Terps? We see a Scion ban coming out, a Caston ban coming out from Terps. So SJU is focusing on trying to limit Dr. Patient, as they saw he was a pretty explosive and strong player last game.
Here we're seeing a Ziggs ban. I'm not sure usually you see that for your your bot laner. I'm not sure what SJU is doing with that one, unless they assume Zaya isn't going to be the bot laner for Terps.
Yeah, I mean, that's Ziggs. Back when Tristana, Smolder, and Corki were played in the mid lane, those ADCs, and Yone, Ziggs was a common pick in the mid lane to be able to stabilize and just farm up in the mid lane like any other mage. And we see a Gwen pick coming out from Terps, but Irelia comes out from SJU. They seem to be feeling confident with themselves, playing these more like not currently in meta picks. Like Irelia, I don't think I've ever seen in pro play recently. Like perhaps Europe, they like to get crazy with it, crazy with the sauce. They might pick it out Whippo and FlyQuest or Broken Blade in the LEC, but it's definitely a confidence pick, and Kled comes out on the side of Terps being able to match that. I think Kled is a very underrated, very power creep character. That Titanic Hydra being able to give that wave clear and strong damage and health on the side of Kled. Right now, like when Kled dismounts now, he does so much damage compared to what he did before. It's like really gone under like the rug, I would say. And that Zoe pick comes out on the side of Terps, that SJU ban in the first round.
Yeah, definitely. I think Kled, I think in the way you were talking about him, seems to be, sort of that like Annie rework where she used to kind of be like this R bot where like you would just try and use your ultimate on her as much as possible. And Kled was just like, if you're not on your mount, you're dead. And I think it's, maybe SJU might think the same thing and try and go for that engage, and maybe, get a little overzealous and, fall.
Yeah, and we see a Camille pick coming out on the top lane for SJU. So I'm going to have to question what is SJU's game plan right now, because their only AP damage dealer, usually you would have one in the mid lane, is that Nidalee. So it just, SJU's plan is for that Nidalee to be able to deal with Kled. And on the side of Terps, I wonder what they're thinking for their team comp, Ives.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's definitely you have that Rakan, which will be useful in that bot lane to, you know, get in and out very quickly. Zaya doesn't really have that presence as much as some AD carries. She's got her feathers, and you have to play around those. And I think Rakan is just there to make up for it, to get that knock up, and then to get that fallback onto the Zaya, who's going to be hanging back a little bit. And I think it's definitely, a tankier comp than SJU has. So, you have that health advantage. And as you were saying, you have, Kled, who's the only ability power damager, is at Nidalee. It's going to be tough for SJU to, kind of work around that, I guess.
I mean, with that player panover we just had from our lovely production crew, we saw smiles on the side of Terps. I mean, it's either they look confident or morale has not been touched from that devastating loss in the first game. I mean...
Yeah, or, maybe it's just a bit of a they took the loss so poorly that they've all gone insane, maybe.
Think they're doing jumping jacks outside of the studio right now. Morale's definitely not down for them. They're getting their exercise in. They're getting their, their brain working. It's, we see our broadcasting director, CJ, just directing them to get more exercise in. Might as well get busy while you're in the studio. I mean, that Kled pick, that Zyricon, I feel like they're in a good mood. They should have morale on their side. They should be able to cook something up. I'm looking forward to this early game. They need to keep control of this early game. Unlike last time, they let it slip perhaps out of their hands, but it's not all for nothing. They have shown the ability to be able to take control, but they need to be able to clutch it and be able to grasp of the Undying, perhaps, for that control, that map control specifically.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're really happy about their draft, and we obviously saw that. I think we've seen glimmers of the performance we want to see out of them tonight, especially in that early game. But they've had their moments, especially with that top lane all in there in the late game last map. I think we all know that they're capable of greatness. We just want to see them seize that.
Yeah, I mean, the storyline going into this game, they're underdogs. They have 2 substitutes. I mean, it's not the best conditions to play under, but there were flashes of brilliance, like you said, Ives. I mean, that top lane dives, shutdown coming in from Varus, Poppy just being able to solo kill and dominate Mbessa until she got those kills from messy team fights. There are flashes of brilliance that Terps should focus and just hone in on. They need to sharpen their fangs and be able to just, once they dig in deep early in the game, they just need to be able to rip the necks of SJU.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a very brutal analogy there.
I mean, I'm so passionate after all those jumping jacks.
Yeah, I don't know why you're so worked up. It's not like you did any of the jumping jacks yourselves. I mean, energy through the camera, and we might have to research that. Maybe one of the PhD students can work on that. The audio technical people can be this new study of how you can instill vibes through image and video. But I don't know.
You said maybe they've gone insane after that first match, that devastating match. Maybe I've gone insane being a Terps Esports supporter and watching my glorious team go down 1-0. I mean, it's just not looking good right now. But
well, I mean, if you've gone insane, then I am trapped in the casting booth with a madman, and someone should send help. So we'll halfway through the match, maybe we'll come in and we'll reassess. We'll see how you're feeling to see if it's any different, because I I think if you are self-admitting that you've gone insane, we should maybe have a conversation about it at least.
I mean, if I say I'm insane, then am I really insane? They used to put me in a rubber room with
No,
rats.
that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm putting my foot down on that. We're gonna maybe think of something more constructive to talk about. Like maybe this awesome weather we're having.
Yeah, I think we should look at the weather of the Rift. That Irelia Camille pick is definitely going to be something to watch out for. I think Irelia is gonna go in that mid lane. Camille's in the top. I don't know how that matchup goes into Kled. I feel like Kled should win that matchup against Camille. Like that last match, Poppy and Bessa. Poppy should win that matchup. So are we gonna see an early first blood solo kill coming in from Camille? So, I mean, I want to see how SJU plays around their basically all AD comp and Nidalee as their only AP damage. I mean, it's hard to hit those skill shots sometimes, so it's very unreliable AP damage.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's, as you said, the Terps should win those fights. They should win those engages. But, like, we saw that kind of happen, and then it kind of, fell apart, like, basically a few minutes after. As you said earlier tonight, it's all down to skill. You have to get that, like, your head in the right spot to make that skill shine.
I mean, in this game, I definitely look forward to, Terps being able to perhaps have the stronger comp, crowd control wise, because that Rakan from Kiko hopefully is able to charm everybody up. That Xayah Featherstorm hopefully being able to root more than one person during a team fight. That Kled just has that fast movement ult, being able to empower his whole team. I'm just looking forward to more action. I mean, it seems like they were very active early on, Terps, but they lost momentum and slowed down and bled out, right? So I'm looking forward to that, like, proactive, like, they just gotta keep running, right? They just gotta keep hitting, like, the punching bag, whatever SJU is in their head. They just gotta keep running towards that goal.
Yeah, definitely. I think what would be beneficial for the Terps is if maybe we could get some equipment in here. I'm not sure, like maybe like football training equipment, get a print out of, the SJU's logo, tape it on there, like it's someone's face, and maybe they can see if they can vent their emotions that way. I think vibes are very high, and they did all those jumping jacks, but it's also, you still can vent other emotions. Like, they got hyped by, using those jumping jacks to maybe get some of that negative energy that they've been feeling out. It's, I'm very surprised. Essentially, I thought, vibes would be low. I think, my expectations maybe of what the studio would look like, I just thought it'd be like a wasteland. Like desolate, like maybe like Mad Max style, just desert everywhere. I come out and like my throat would feel dry, and I'm just like, I need water. And then like Kiko would run past me like with like face paint and like a raider gear or something.
Yeah,
it'd be the end of times.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's that Mad Max out there. Vibes are up, but I want them to stay calm. I want them to be methodical with their actions. I don't want any messy team fights where the support was getting caught out, where mid lane was getting caught out because they were low HP, because they were trying to face check on those squishy champions. They have more tankiness this game, so I want to see them play as a team. And that Zoe, I want to highlight. SJU did ban out Zoe in the first match, but they decided not to ban them this match. Maybe they think Irelia is strong into Zoe. Maybe they're trying to just tease Terps, like saying we're so much better. Here, you can play Zoe. You can have perhaps your best character, and we're jumping into the Rift now.
Yeah, definitely. And right now we're seeing, basically 4 people from SJU, all 5 head to this bot lane here. They might be looking for an early engage or some troll play here.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like this Nautilus hook, they're trying to catch out any like early pressure, perhaps any scouting that Xayah is trying to do, and pause just came out. We might have a game restart soon enough. So in this downtime, what do you think? Do you think this there's a technical difficulty going on right now? So in that meantime, you saw that Nautilus play. You pointed out. Is it troll? Is it not? Do you think it's gonna work in that bot lane? Are they gonna follow through on it?
I mean, maybe. You see one person still hiding in bush bot lane, but you see 4 people there. They don't have any idea. They have that Oracle lens to try and get that hook out. We're seeing the flash being burned early there by Xayah. You just have to get away there. You can't win a 1v5. It'll just be like a fist fight because everyone's still level 1. They don't have any abilities. They just have cooldowns. Everyone's just kind of resetting positions at this point now.
Yeah, right now, I think after that pause, it definitely stopped maybe like any momentum SJU were trying to build up from moving actively in that, tri-bush area. I think right now we should be looking forward to this Nautilus being able to maybe move past these minions and get active onto Xayah. He's going to walk up and root Xayah. Ignite comes out. It just active engage, but it seems like Nautilus takes the brunt force of that trade. It's definitely not looking the best for the Xayah Rakan bot lane.
Yeah, definitely. I think... Oh, and we're seeing another pause come out.
Difficulty.
Yeah, from someone, I'm not sure. But I think it was just really... They wanted to... Oh, we're seeing Aurelia disconnect.
Maybe some unstable connection on the side of SJU. Maybe it's best. I know Riot has been undergoing some DDoS attacks recently. Valorant servers have been unstable. League servers, I've heard, have been unstable. I didn't think it would reach into these more custom game environments, but it seems like it's definitely affecting gameplay right now.
Yeah, and we're just seeing everyone leave the game here. People are coming in and out. I'm not sure what's going on. It's so confusing at this point. We're getting word that League of Legends itself is having server issues. It's, as you said, possibly those DDoS attacks. I know yesterday when I was playing, even in the lobby, it became impossible for one of my teammates to hit the lock-in button. Like, they just couldn't hit it, and then they wound up dodging because you have to lock in your selected champion. You can't just hover them.
I think it's crazy right now how some of these like hackers or evil cyber criminals are committing DDoS attacks on video game companies. I don't think there's much value to attacking companies besides being disruptive and, for malintent. And I'm getting word that we might have to restart this game right now. Not much has happened. Laning phase minions haven't came out yet, but it's a shame that we have this many delays right now.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's, as you mentioned, like, it's not even when Worlds is happening. Like, no one's like trying to DDoS Worlds. It's just like, I'm just going to stop you from queuing with your friends, essentially. Like, there's no message that someone like is putting. They're not defacing the Riot Games website. They're just like DDoSing their servers. It's possible that it's some kind of like pen test maybe for Riot Games in preparation for Worlds, but you know.
Yeah. I mean, right now with all this technical difficulties, we're gonna try and take a 5-minute break and hopefully fix these issues and come back with you guys with a stable game environment.
My name is Subin Kim, my in-game name is Carrots, and I'm the controller of this team.
My name is Hannah, my IGN is Tuxedo Sam, and I play Sentinel for the team.
My name is Sima, my in-game name is Care Bear, and I'm a Flex.
My name is Megan, my IGN is Giraffe, and I'm an Initiator.
My name is Sophia, my IGN is Soap, and I'm an Initiator.
Hi everyone, I'm Ayush, my in-game name is Dulcexo, and I'm the coach.
For me, I think it was just really interesting to see like our names on like social media and like on a website. I'm just like, whoa, my name is on a website but so I think that was like the number one thing that kind of like just it brought the realization of like what kind of team I'm in, like what kind of position I'm in.
Meeting them. It's like hard to make a woman and non-binary friends in Valorant, so it's just really nice that we have like a team specifically for that.
The studio.
Yeah. Oh, the studio.
The
Oh,
studio.
I didn't even know that existed. I didn't know that existed until like remember like when we first talked about the studio. I was like, "What's that?" When I first went to the room, I was like, "Oh, there's cameras and lighting." I'm just like, "That's
nice computer."
Nice computer.
The monitor is
So
crazy.
true.
Winning.
Yeah.
Oh, so true.
Yeah.
W winning.
Getting that.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, I feel
That
like
was pretty cool.
Plastic.
Hey. I would say supportive is definitely like Dusty and Rachel. Those two, just like making sure we had scrims down, making sure we had practice schedules down, like Dusty making sure like to pick out what we did wrong, just like, you know, helping us improve. I think definitely.
Yeah, Dusty's a very present coach, so
Very.
it's like he's really reliable and helped us through the whole season.
Thanks, team.
Yeah, you'd even like schedule things for us,
like organize all those schedules.
help us map bands and like talk to
Stats,
them
yeah.
if like realize if one of them was like unranked or something. Breaking a rule, making teams forfeit.
Maybe we don't talk about that last part.
I would also say like our fans in chat, like on
Oh,
stream.
true.
So it was nice knowing
W
people
chat.
watching us.
And the haters.
Oh yeah.
Improve in the higher division.
Yeah, it is definitely more challenging because we're in a higher division now. But I think we could, like, with our coordination, I definitely think we could. We need to bring home another one of these.
It feels great.
Yeah.
You guys know this is the first title that Terps Esports has won.
Wait, seriously?
And by women.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously? Oh,
First time.
cool.
I like playing Valorant.
Have an excuse to play games.
That's true. That's good.
For me, I joined because, well, like I've always wanted to be on a women's team, especially like since I got to UMD, and me and Dusty had always like tried to make teams work every semester, and this was the first time it actually did work and stuck, and the people who tried out like were committed. So I guess I've always just wanted to be on a women's team to like connect more to that community.
To make friends.
So I had that gap, you know, without a team for a while, and then I saw the form, and I was like, I really want to try this. This sounds fun. And then, yeah, I play Valorant too much. I mean, first of all, I did not imagine me being IGL when I first started, because I am outside of my Lilac team, I am known as the no-brain, only aim chamber in comp. So I did not imagine myself being IGL. But like, I think it's like, if there were some difficulties in the beginning because no one, like, I wasn't used to giving out comms. I was just very confused. But I think now it's just like the amount of trust that my teammates give me when I give out comms and the amount of like coordination that we have. Like, I just love being like IGLing because I trust that things will work out.
Terp Adventures take flight at STAM. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body, feed your mind, feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance, sing, perform, find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. With space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete. Play. With wings on our feet. Here your spirit can fly. Here your soul lifts up. Here you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the Center for Campus Life, where Terp Adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together, everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural ray. We're excited just to see them play better as well.
With the middle school program, the best part has been seeing the moments of teamwork where the middle schoolers really seem to get the game, and so that's when you can see they're starting to get a little bit hooked on how esports can be so fun.
Off game, or will Red turn things around?
Your ad tech stack is simple, streamlined, and easy to manage, right? Yeah, right. If you're an ad tech, then you know you have a problem. Ad tech is messy, and your tech stack includes way too many tools to effectively manage. At Playwire, we're here to uncomplicate your ad tech stack. We've consolidated the entire publisher ad tech stack into a single platform and added in proprietary technology and advanced tools to generate you even higher CPMs. Get access to an ad tech stack that is simpler and smarter.
And I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together. Everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural ray. We're excited just to see them play better as well.
With the middle school program, the best part has been seeing the moments of teamwork where the middle schoolers really seem to get the game, and so that's when you can see they're starting to get a little bit hooked on how esports can be so fun.
Off game, or will Red turn things around?
Terp Adventures take flight at STAM. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body, feed your mind, feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance, sing, perform. Find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. With space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete, play, with wings on our feet. Here your spirit can fly. Here your soul lifts up. Here you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the Center for Campus Life, where Terp adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
Welcome back, Ives. That was a little more than we expected of a momentary break, but hopefully we'll see if these league servers work right now. As we said,
yeah,
DDoS
definitely
has been coming in.
We're getting into a last-ditch effort. League servers are currently under fire, and we're trying. The good folks at Terps Esports and the people in the studio have been trying their best to make this work, and it's coming down to the last few options. Hopefully, we're just trying to see if we can get everyone back into this original lobby and just unpause, and hopefully everything goes well. If everything goes well, we'll have a great second map, but
second, third map maybe if
we can get into a third.
Yeah.
Or maybe by the time that we're done with this, the turmoil with the servers will be fixed. But
I don't know about you, Ives, but I'm getting a bit hungry. So hopefully these are a clean, fast match for Terps. And you do have to question, maybe SJU has some informants trying to bring down the Riot servers because they thought, oh shoot, we didn't ban Zoe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe they're scared. I would have to second that. I'm hungry. The last thing I ate last night was at 2 a.m. So I'm just I've just been kind of taking it, the physical and mental damage, I guess. If I'm playing Minecraft, my hunger bar is basically fully depleted. I'm on half a heart essentially right now.
Yeah, let's try and keep it going. Try and power through these last few games.
This league game keeps me alive.
And unfortunately, tonight we're getting news from broadcasting that we're calling it for tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately, not going to be able to see the awesome conclusion of that series. Unfortunately, those server issues are just too much to handle. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, well, at least Me and Ives will be able to go and grab some dinner maybe. And let you guys in on a little secret. Our coaching staff and players were playing code names and chess. So they're definitely having fun even though we're not in the server. So after those jumping jacks, they kept their brain working before we found out these league servers are not going to hold up for tonight. So it was a best of one tonight, but we're definitely going to look forward to how they're going to re-innovate themselves in the next time they show up.
Yeah, definitely. Before we go, I want to thank you to all who are watching. I want to thank our sponsors, Playwire, Recwell here, and the School of Journalism here at the University of Maryland. Thank you. We hope you enjoyed yourselves and have a good night.
Yeah, thank you to our broadcasting staff and everybody that has been patient with these technical difficulties. And hopefully we'll see you next week for Terps, League of Legends Premier Team. Hopefully we will be over these technical issues next time. Thank you so much. I just heard that.